Hello students, I hope you all are doing well and will be studying at your places. In last video, I made you understand the simple machine type of simple machine and the mechanical advantage. We end the last video with mechanical advantage. What was the mechanical advantage? The amount by which the magnitude of force is increased by a machine is called the mechanical advantage. Okay, and the ratio of the load and effort is called a mechanical advantage. Here the load is the output force and the effort is the input force. Both are the force means the unit will be same, that is the Newton, and both will be cancelled. So there will be no unit of the mechanical advantage. After that the efficiency of machine is there. Okay, efficiency of machine is find out in the percentage. Okay, what is the efficiency of machine? The ratio of output energy and the input energy is called the efficiency of machine. When we multiply the ratio of output energy and input energy by the 100, we get the efficiency of that machine. What is the output energy here? The work done by the machine, and input energy, the work done on the machine, is called the input energy. Okay, most of the machines are there whose efficiency is less than 100%. Why? Because some of the energy is waste in the friction, and those machines who has the 100% efficiency are called the ideal simple machine. Got it? Are called the ideal simple machine. Now after that, the first type of simple machine are there, that is called the lever. Okay, what is the lever? Lever is a straight, rigid or bent rod which is capable of turning around a fixed surface. You must have seen, I am giving the example, you must have seen the seesaw in the park or amusement park, and you must have used that. Okay, I am showing you the seesaw is just like that. Okay, this is the lever, it is the rigid and the straight rod. Okay, and it is movable on a fixed point. This is the fixed point. Okay, so one children sit here and the another sit here, and you just enjoy the seesaw. Got it? It moves like this. So this is the lever. Got? Now there are three components of the lever. There are three components of that lever. First is the effort, load, and third one is the fulcrum. Okay, what is the effort? The effort, it is the force applied on the lever. Got? The effort, a type of force which is applied on the lever. And what is the load? It is the weight of the body which is work done on that. Okay, you can see here, suppose this is the lever. Okay, if I am just applying the force on it, so this is the, I am applying the force on it, so this is effort. Okay, I am applying the force, I am applying the effort downward direction. Okay, and what is happening? Suppose if the load is here, then load will lift up. Got it? When the effort is being applied downward, then load which is here will lift upward. Got? In this example, in this picture, you can see here, this person is just applying the force down in down direction, downward. Okay, this man is applying the force downward, and when he will apply the force downward, this load, this is the stone, will lift upward direction. Okay, got it? What is the work of lever? The work of lever to lifting heavy object. Okay, we use the lever to lift up the heavy object. Where the heavy objects are there, we can use the lever to lift up easily. Got it? So this is the load. Here this man is applying the force, and this is what? This is the fulcrum. What is the fulcrum? The axis about the lever turn. The axis about the lever turn is called the fulcrum. Okay, I saw you here. The lever is just moving around up and down on a fixed axis and that fixed axis is called the fulcrum. Okay, now one more important thing, the distance between the effort and the fulcrum is called the effort arm. The distance between effort and the fulcrum is called the effort arm, and the distance between load and the fulcrum is called the load arm. Okay, got? Now the mechanical advantage of a lever. What is the mechanical advantage of a lever? As you can see in this picture, that load and effort both are balanced about a fulcrum. Okay, means load and effort just are balanced about a fulcrum like a beam balance. Got it? What is the mechanical advantage of the lever? Mechanical advantage of a lever is equal to load upon effort. Means the ratio of load upon effort is the mechanical advantage of the lever. Load upon effort is equal to effort arm upon load arm. What does it mean by this? Means you can lift up heavier to heaviest load by increasing the effort arm. Means load is directly proportional to the effort arm, and as much the load arm you will increase, you need to more effort to lift up the load. It means effort is directly proportional to the load arm. Okay, these are equal to each other. Means the ratio of load upon effort is equal to effort arm upon load arm. Got everyone? Means you can lift up heavier to heaviest load by increasing the effort arm, and if you increase the load arm, you need to apply the more effort to lift up the load. Got? So load upon effort is equal to effort arm upon load arm. Here one more thing is there which is very important to tell you. If the numerator and the denominator are there, okay, and the numerator is greater than denominator, so the value will be more than 1, and when the numerator is smaller than denominator, then the value will be less than 1. Okay, definitely. Suppose the 4 is there and you are dividing the 4 by the 2, so you will get the 2, that is the more than 1, and if you will divide the 2 by the 4, so you are getting the less than 1. I am telling you this here because you can see here there is a ratio of the effort arm and the load arm. Okay, so in this case, if the effort arm, this is the effort arm, this is the length of effort arm between the fulcrum and the effort. If the effort arm is the greater than the load arm, so mechanical advantage will be the more than 1. And in the other case, if the effort arm, this arm, the distance between the fulcrum and the effort is less than the load arm, okay, so in this case the mechanical advantage will be less than 1. Got everyone? So on this basis the type of lever are there. Means the lever has just divided in 3 classes. First class lever is there. First of all, first class lever. In first class lever, the fulcrum is always fulcrum is always between load and effort. Okay, the load may be here or effort may be there. Got? It doesn't matter where the load and where the effort is there. Load may be here and effort may be there, but fulcrum is always between both of them. Got? This is the first class lever, this is the fulcrum, and this is the effort, and this is the load. Got? So this is first class lever, and you can put the effort here and load here. Got it? And this is fulcrum. So in this case, this is also the first class lever. It doesn't matter the load is here, effort is here, and the effort is here and load is there. Doesn't matter. The matter is that fulcrum must be between both of them. But now what will be the mechanical advantage of the first class lever? In first class lever, the mechanical advantage of the lever is always 1. Why? Because the fulcrum is just between the load and effort. Got? So in the case of first class lever, or fulcrum is always between load and effort, and the mechanical advantage of that is 1. Okay, and you can see here the first class lever example. Look at here, you can see here, this is the crowbar and this is used to lift the heavy things. Okay, we apply the effort here downward direction and the load just lift in upward direction. Okay, and this is the fulcrum. So you can see here, this is the effort and load and fulcrum. Okay, so this is the first class lever. Now this is the plier, this is the fulcrum, effort, we apply the effort by the hand, and here we put the load. Okay, and this is the seizure, we apply the force here by using the finger. This is the fulcrum and we put the load here. Okay, so these all are the example of the first class lever. Now the second class lever. Now what is the second class lever? In second class lever, load is always between the effort and fulcrum. Load is always between the effort and fulcrum. Got? Fulcrum may be there and effort may be there, but load will be always between effort and fulcrum. Effort and fulcrum. Got? And what is the mechanical advantage of the second class lever? You can see here that this is the effort arm. Okay, I told you the distance between the effort to the fulcrum is the effort arm. Okay, and the distance between the load to the fulcrum is the load arm. We always measure the effort arm and the load arm with respect to the fulcrum. So you can see here, effort arm is the more than load arm. Effort arm is the more than load arm. Okay, so numerator is greater than denominator. So in this case, the mechanical advantage of the second class lever will be greater than 1. Okay, because when you will divide the effort arm by the load arm, you will get the value more than 1, because the effort arm is more than load arm. So mechanical advantage will be the more than 1. Here are the example of the second class lever. This is the nutcracker. You can see here, we apply the force here, that is the effort, and this is the fulcrum, and we put the load between them. This is the wheelbarrow, where this is the fulcrum, and this is the effort, where we hold the handle, and between them the load is there. And this is the bottle opener. Here this is the fulcrum. Okay, this is the wrong here, you will just get it right. This is the effort. Okay, and here is the fulcrum, and load is between them. Okay, you apply the effort here, you apply the force here, load is the cap of that bottle, and the fulcrum is that. Now the third class lever. In third class lever, the effort is always between load and fulcrum. Effort is always between load and fulcrum. Okay, effort is always between load and fulcrum. I told you it doesn't matter where the load and where the fulcrum, where the effort is there, but the things which is important, that if the third class lever is there, then effort must be between fulcrum and load. If the second class lever is there, then load must be between effort and fulcrum, and if the first class lever is there, then fulcrum must be between load and effort. So we are talking about here the third class lever. In third class lever, effort is always between load and fulcrum. Effort is always between load and fulcrum. Got it? Now what is the mechanical advantage of the third class lever? As you can see here, this is the effort arm and this is the load arm, and you can see clearly here that effort arm is less than load arm. Okay, means numerator is smaller than denominator. So when you will divide the smaller number by the greater number, you will get the less than 1 value. So the mechanical advantage will be the less than 1 in third class lever. Got it? The mechanical advantage of the third class lever will be the less than 1. There are some examples are there. This is the broom and this is the stapler. this is the fulcrum where we hold the things. Okay, the sweeper, you must have seen the sweeper who hold the broom from here, and this is the load, and the sweeper just apply the effort between the fulcrum and the load, between the stick. Okay, and this is the stapler. This is the also example of the third class lever. So this was the lever which I told you, and I told you the classes of the lever: first class lever, second class lever, third class lever. In first class lever I told you that fulcrum is always between the load and effort. Okay, and second class lever I told you that load is between the effort and fulcrum, and third class lever I told you that effort is between load and fulcrum. Okay, so I am telling you the easy way. You just remember the FLE. Okay, FLE means if you have been asked what is the first class lever, so you just remember in first class lever fulcrum is in between, fulcrum is between them, and in second class lever load is between, and in third class lever effort is between. Got it? So this is the easy way to remember that in which lever, in which class of lever, which is between the other thing. So I told you the lever and the class of lever and their mechanical advantage. Got? So in next video we will just understand the pulley. Till then you just keep study, and thank you.